Hello, and welcome to the Bada Show. I am one of your hosts, Dave, here in the top square, and down there is my partner in crime, co-host, Chris. Chris, how are you today? It's Friday, baby.
It's Friday and it's a 3-day weekend, so it's even better than a normal Friday. So that's
Well,
pretty fantastic.
mm,
Happy to be here with you. Happy to talk. Uh, it feels so weird because it feels like we just did this.
you
It's been
think
a
so?
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It flew.
Surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like we just did this, but alas, here we are again, and we're approaching our 40th episode, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well,
We're pushing it we're pushing it with a bulldozer.
I was going to say, is 40 significant because it's closer to our actual vintage?
I think because it's closer to 50. I mean,
Okay.
because you know me, I do when I do shows, they are numerous.
Mm-hmm.
So like 40 is like, oh, I'm getting close to 50. And then
Okay.
when we get to like 80, it'll be like, oh, we're getting close to 100.
I can't
So
wait till 50 because we can charge all the Bada out there $10 for the episode.
really,
Yeah,
is that how
why
that
not?
works?
Yeah, it's an
Oh
anniversary
wow.
issue. Yeah, gonna hike
Yeah,
up the
yeah.
price from 0 to
Mhm.
10. You know what I mean?
And I think we're going to do like a 2-second snippets throughout. It's going to be an anthology episode.
That's right.
We'll tell like one knock knock joke and then we'll go to black, and then we'll come back and why'd the chicken cross the road, and then we'll go to black, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk about a comic for 5 seconds, and then it'll be great.
Yeah. Hey, I want
It'll be
to
wonderful.
give a quick edit to something
Hmm.
you just mentioned about the 3-day weekend. I want
Yeah.
all the fine folks out there to remember I was like, happy Friday, but if you are a retail worker, there is no such thing.
Scary Friday.
Scary Friday. Holiday
Hmm.
weekends, scary weekend. So, you know what?
Hmm.
When you're out there buying all the things you need to party, barbecue, have a good old time, this be the best BBQ I ever BB to. Be nice.
Hmm. Hmm.
Be nice to the retail people out there. They're my
Yep.
people. Okay?
Yeah. So
So,
some people still have to set their alarm clock.
yeah, be
So yeah,
gentle.
be nice to those folks. Yes, because
Yes.
as they're walking up to bed, flipping their little thing on their phone saying to wake me up, that's not a good walk.
No.
So
And
yes,
myself, I'll be
be
up at
be
5
polite.
a.m. tomorrow. So, hey,
Me
there we
too.
go. Looking in a mirror, my friend, looking in a mirror. Now, I do urge people to be kind. I
Hmm.
want positivity and love and joy in my life. Unfortunately, no matter how hard you try to achieve
Hmm.
this ultimate moment of nirvana, the world will send something sailing down from the heavens to set the vibes ablaze. Now, for us, this
Hmm.
happens to be something called Batman Hush 2. Now,
Oof.
last week I did a little review of it. See,
Yeah.
I can't speak now. It's got me all flustered. But
Hmm.
you took the opportunity to read, I believe it was what, issue 159 this week?
159. Yeah.
159, which, when you initially let me know about it, I said, Chris, I read it, so you didn't
Hmm.
have to. Yet you stormed the front anyway. So
I did.
let's get your thoughts on how you felt about Batman 159.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
You know,
dude.
like when you told me about the first part of Hush 2,
Yeah.
and I was ignorant to the entire thing, I'm
Hmm.
like, it can't be that bad. Clearly, there's hyperbole at play here, for sure. It cannot I mean, Jeff Loeb's a talented guy. Jim Lee's a talented guy. Batman's a great character. Hush 1, warts and all, was okay.
Okay.
It was exciting. So how bad could Hush 2 be? Ooh,
Yeah.
pretty bad. Yeah, it stunk. Uh, Unbelievably bad for the first part. And then the second part comes out and you tell me a little bit about that. And it's like, no, no, it can't be quite this bad.
Yeah.
And before I even talk about the issue, I went to a comic shop over the weekend where they had like the giant edition.
Uh-huh.
I sent you a picture of this giant edition next to like a normal sized book. This thing is probably like 18 inches tall. It was ridiculous for Batman 159 with a 3 times out of continuity Jason Todd on the cover. Ridiculous. So I started reading it. I got my DCBS shipment on I think Tuesday, and I read this thing either yesterday or the day before. Whenever I sent you that message, and it was just unbelievably because it started almost decent. Of course, we get the damn crime alley pearls and all over the place like we always do. But we have Batman bringing the Joker to Leslie's, hole in the wall clinic. And I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. And then it went right into the things you told me about and warned me about. It's like, this is what Hush wanted me to do. Oh, he expected me to do this.
Yeah.
The logic at play here, it's like I bought a bag of Skittles and only ate the orange ones, just like Tommy said I would. Or thought it's like just grasping at anything to make Hush look like he's brilliant,
Right.
a brilliant tactician. We haven't seen him yet. I don't even know when the last time we actually saw Hush was in continuity. I know there was like Heart of Hush. Has he been since the New 52?
Well, in 158, he was tormenting the Joker. Remember, he was
Oh yeah.
throwing the
But like, when does
blades.
Batman cross paths with him?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't.
It's
Last
been
time he was
an
in line
age.
at 7-Eleven for Skittles, I guess.
Could
I
be.
don't know.
Yes, the orange ones, only orange. Purple sometimes. But it was astonishingly bad. And then the scene at the cave, and I feel it's like I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, who cares? The scene at the cave was ridiculous. It's like we were back in 2002, and we lost out on all the character growth and all of the burying of the hatchet between Bruce and Jason. It was as though they'd never met. It's like they were referring back to when Clayface imitated Jason Todd, which was retconned into actually being Jason Todd in Batman Annual 25. So I mean, they undid that, but Jeff Loeb must not have read that, because they're still talking about, I know when Clayface impersonated me. No, asshole, that was you. We established this. It was you. And why are you still in your pre-Flashpoint costume? I don't know what to... This should have been Black Label. You know, we've been looking for an identity for Black Label because it doesn't make sense. It's like, it's in continuity if we want it to be. Here's 3 Jokers. Read it or not. Follow it or not. Canonize it or not. Here we have this in the ongoing flagship Batman book, and it makes no sense. And then that Riddler thing at the end, the Riddler, it looks like if Wizard Magazine put out an article in like 1999 being like, hey, what if the Image guys created DC villains?
Yeah.
It would be that.
Right.
Like, does he actually have a question mark tattoo over his eye?
Maybe it's just paint. I'm not
But
sure, but it is over his
why-
eye. Yeah.
Why in the hell would the Riddler paint his face?
I don't know. There's not enough question marks. So why not one more?
I guess. Ridiculous. And then, like, I don't know if this is just because I had just read Detective Comics. I don't even know what number it was. Maybe like 1096, 1097. Not the most recent one, but the one with that wraps up the Joe Chill storyline. And in that, like, 3 people know Batman's identity. And then I read this Hush thing, and then the Riddler somehow knows Batman's identity. How many people know Batman's identity now? Because, like, I think Gordon does, the Joker does. Who doesn't know that Batman's Bruce Wayne? It's very weird.
A bathroom stall in Gotham that it's scribbled for a good time called
Yes.
Batman is
/ Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Exactly.
Craziness.
So, yeah, man. Dude, I wrote a song about how bad that issue was. This is how terrible I view the issue, and you still decided to step into that muck and mire and
I did.
be, you know, aggravated yourself, which is, I'm not sure if it's noble or dumb. I don't know, man.
It's dumb. Dumb
Okay.
is the word.
All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah, I should have just filed it away.
yeah.
Matt Fraction can't come quick enough.
You
You
know,
know, this is.
yeah, you're right. I mean, I swore when I read 158 that that was it. And
You were done.
I was done, and I was going to do
Yeah.
exactly as you just stated, just file them away and, cancel the book,
Hmm.
and that's that. Um,
Yeah.
so for me to stick my nose into 159 was just like, why am I even doing this? And then maybe it was like a glimmer of hope, like
Yeah.
maybe they can turn this around. Maybe it was just like, a little blip and one small aberration, but
Hmm.
they're onto something here. But now it's just consistently poop.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the plus side,
Mm.
there is a silver lining. It only takes about 3 minutes to read.
Yeah, that's true.
There ain't much happening.
Yeah. You
No,
can't
I mean
technically ask for those minutes back in your life
that's
unless it's
true.
over like 5 minutes. Anything under,
Yeah.
sucker. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's waiting for an elevator to go up. You know,
Hmm.
that's liminal time. You lose it. It's okay. But like the scene, like the gun to the head. What?
And he clipped him.
Yeah,
He fired it and clipped Jason. It was like off the temple there. I'm
yeah.
like, Betty, no, don't do it.
Oh,
Oh
dude.
boy. Yeah.
And in the detective issue I read right before that,
Hmm.
Jason's in his new costume, trying to protect kids at a prison with the entire Bat family, and everything's cool. I I I don't know what to say.
Dude, like there's been times we've complained like, hey, look, there's a whole Bat family all happy in
Hmm.
Bruce Wayne's kitchen eating flapjacks.
Yeah,
Jason Todd's there,
he
but
is.
I don't know. I mean,
But yeah, but here it's
yeah.
like, how did you get in here? Jason Todd can't get into the damn Batcave. He's not allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a bat on his damn costume, right? I think he's allowed. Like he's never been there before. And the fact that I don't know if we talked about this last time, but from what I've heard,
Mm.
we're getting six parts of this in Batman, and then somewhere down the line, we're getting the back half of it in the miniseries. Like Hush 2 parts 7 through 12 is going to be in a standalone miniseries outside the main title sometime down the line. So 2028, 2029 maybe?
Well, when you first told me about that, because someone gave you that info,
Yeah.
one of your friends, and I Googled it immediately because I'm like, dear Lord, no, don't let this be true. But then I didn't find anything at that point in time, but I was perusing solicits for August. Is it
Yeah.
August? Yeah. And there's going to be, just like you found, the 159 giant size, what have you. But there is one, I don't remember the issue number off the top of my head, but they even said this one is going to be Hush to Part 2. It's the kickoff for it. And I'm like, oh, Lord,
Yep.
Christopher's information was correct.
It checked
Oh,
out.
yeah, not cool. So this thing is getting dragged out, and dude, like, okay, let me stop myself there because you had also let me know today you found a website that
Mm-hmm.
reviewed 159
Yeah.
and were honest about it, and I
They
was
were honest about it.
flabbergasted
Mm-hmm.
because most of these review websites, and we've talked about this
Oh yeah.
quite a bit, they just want their comps, so
Yeah. They
everything's
want the goodie
fantastic.
bag.
Yeah,
Yep.
everything's great. So to hear that someone was honest and raw and real about
Mm-hmm.
this issue is
Oh yeah.
refreshing, great,
Oh yeah.
and I fear for their digital copies of Batman in the future. You know,
Possibly, yeah. No, this was the BatmanUniverse.net. Big props to them for honesty.
Mm-hmm.
and actually like saying the same things that we're saying, where it's like, where why is Jason acting this way? Why does it seem like they never met before, or they haven't seen each other since the friggin' Death in the Family?
Mm-hmm.
It's just insanity,
Well,
absolute insanity.
should I cue up the song? Is it
If you'd like.
worthy playing it again? Because that's how bad Batman 159 was. We can do back-to-back episodes of just talking about how
And
pootastic it was.
and I know I'm gonna read 160 and
Don't
161.
stop. No.
I almost have to.
Why?
One of us has to. Because
Why?
now I have to read. I have to read Action to fill you in, and I'm gonna have to read this to fill you in.
Don't take a bullet for me, bro. You don't need to on this one, okay? Just don't. Don't do it.
It could just be the "How bad can it possibly be" segment of the show.
Okay. All right. Well, Action, okay, because I was tormenting myself over canceling it, so I think it'd be good confirmation for you to read it and let me know,
If
it
you're
was
missing
bad.
out, yeah.
Yeah. This we know absolutely without any denying the truth, the facts. It stinks. It's terrible.
It's rotten.
You don't need to go back into it. We know it's not getting any better. There's no way it's going to happen. It's impossible.
Yeah. I was trying to rack my brain here thinking about a modern comic that has been this bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't come up with anything that has been this, like, astonishingly bad.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this song one last time because I will maybe never get a chance to use this again. I mean, maybe I can
1 month from now.
Well, no. Hold on. Because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But maybe for dude, if I in the future read a book as bad or almost as bad as Batman 159, I can play it again. But the odds of that are probably pretty slim. I might have a better shot of just looking up at the sky and $1 million fluttering down and money raining on me.
You are still reading Secret Six.
Yeah, not great. But I mean, come on now. At least with Secret Six, it's not like playing the nostalgia vibes and the superstar creative team returns decades later to ruin any good memories you had about the original.
Crap the bed, yeah.
Yeah. So did you just say crap the bed?
I did.
All right, that seems like a good segue.
Ooh, this book really sucks. Fucking sucks. Ooh, it stinks worse than poo in a hallway. Wanna burn it up, that's what's up. It's a bore, throw it out the door. This comic reeks of caca. Boo, 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 woo.
So yeah, hopefully that's the last time that ditty ever gets played on the Bada Bin show. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because
you never know.
Dude, that's a tough bar to jump over and be equally as turd-tastic. So, yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to extend that conversation into some of the other reads you had this week, considering, you're talking what you saw with your peepers?
I haven't really read too much. I've been trying to fill in, trying to get a couple of chapters of that Golden Age Batman in before bed, and a little Love and Rockets on top of that as well. I've had the weirdest time going to bed lately, though.
Really?
Yeah, it's usually it's I start to get tired, There's I take a trazodone at night, and I'll start to wind down. And it's oh, okay, I can go up, and the wife and I will go to bed, and then I'll roll over and I'll read for a bit. But now it's I'm just just a ton of bricks.
Wow.
It's collapsing me. So my reading has been sparser than I would like for it to be, but still, you really don't need too much mental acuity to read Golden Age Batman. It's insane.
Yeah.
It really, really is insane. I sent you a panel
Yeah.
the other day.
And guess what? Chris, this is your life. I have the panel here ready to go.
Hey, bring
Yeah.
her up.
There it is in all of its glory. Holy
Oh,
moly,
dude.
what is going on here?
Man, yeah, well, sir, when Batman sees African pygmies walking on top of a railroad car, it means something queer is going on.
Yes,
And that
indeed.
means I'm investigating.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
you are. Wow.
yeah, that was taken. I had like a little lamp wrapped around my neck. I was reading in bed in the dark, and I had this little lamp showing that. That's why the line is rather terrible. But yeah, I mean, there was a whole like a whole 18-page story of Batman fighting pygmies, and like very insensitive, of course, but like they're
Yeah.
all jumping on him, he's kicking them off. It was a funny time. And another thing I noticed, you couldn't help but notice
Yeah.
as you read these Golden Age stories, is that Robin, and his name is Dick, and it's apt because he attacks everyone with it.
With his
Every
groin.
single time with his groin, with his
Yeah.
crotch, he's head scissoring everybody. I don't think he's thrown a single punch yet. It's like he just swings in and like tackles people with his open legs. And it's hilarious because it's like every time. Like they could actually just like cut him out of the book and like paste him onto different panels in that same. It's like almost like a golden age, Liefeldian pose.
Oh.
Like you remember the Liefeld poses where it's just groin. It was like Liefeld would do it with like it would be like an action figure that you like bent the legs back and it was like groin.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robin, just everybody gets they get the Hurricane Rana, they get the head scissor. It's pretty wild, but they're fun stories. They're fun and they're silly. And I've never read the ones that I'm reading now, because I'd only read like the ones on the archive edition. That was like maybe like 8 issues. Now I'm very deep into it, so it's a good time. It's a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't It's funny because part of me, we go back to like the Morrison taking over Batman thing, and he made every story matter and every story count, and like I'm trying to like figure out like where some of these stories fit or if they fit, and it's like he fought someone called like Clubfoot, and I'm like, oh man, should I pull out the phone and see if like there's a wiki entry for Clubfoot? And it's like, oh, he made an appearance in Detective 812. It's like, what? Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure there are burgeoning writers out there who do the same thing. It's like, ooh, can I do a Clubfoot story? Maybe. Can I do the African pygmies on the train story? Yeah, maybe.
You shouldn't.
No, probably not that one.
Yeah.
probably
you
not.
Probably
that one.
shouldn't. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but Clubfoot is fair. He's fair game.
Is his foot actually clubbed? Is it like a Daniel Day-Lewis,
he-
my left foot kind of thing going on? Or
Well,
what?
he has a hook and he walks with a queer limp. That's
Ah.
what they said.
So it
Yeah,
must be
they like
investigated.
that word a lot. That's where Batman investigates. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Wortham was onto something.
Well, and you are too with your little lamp. You said it was a neck lamp, like one of those little
It was a
beamers.
Yeah, it was a lamp that like you clamp on like a desk or something.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just have it around my neck, and like I'm Hercules Hernandez or something, and then pop it on.
Okay.
No.
They actually make one for your neck that has 2 little lights on the end.
Oh, that'd be helpful.
That-
Because this one is
yeah.
like one that the wife got from Target because it looked cute.
Okay. I'm
Just have
sure.
it draped around my neck.
I'm sure you look great wearing it.
Oh, I'm sure I'm
Fashion
adorable in it.
statement,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, like it looks like a
queer.
little flower on the end. Yeah.
Yeah, very queer. Batman's gonna come and investigate because
He's
if
gonna
it's
investigate.
queer, he's there.
He's all
Yeah.
over it.
When you sent me that panel, I was at work and I'm on break. I'm like, what is he sending me, man? What is this? But it was funny because the other thing too is you get bang for your buck out of those word balloons.
You do.
John
You do.
Byrne be damned.
Byrne and
People were-
Claremont are rolling in their easy chairs.
That's right. They were, not the first to stuff word balloons silly. That's for dang sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Golden Age Batman. I always find those older Golden Age tales really difficult to read.
Mm-hmm.
So props to you for actually reading them and at night because my eyes would immediately glaze over, go in different directions, and I'd be in a snoring city. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, right on, brother.
And it's crazy. Like almost every story winds up with someone dying.
Oh,
It's like, oh, because I think Clubfoot falls downstairs and he dies. It's like Clubfoot will never bother anyone again. He's just laying there dead.
the hook.
They just, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, like everybody dies in those books. I mean, the Joker's died like twice already.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he cheated death and broke out of jail. What? Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's funny. It's silly.
Well, nothing. I mean, could you imagine?
Nothing mattered. Yeah.
Going back to that era and being like, hey, continuity, it's got to be about continuity. And they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? 8-year-old kids read this crap.
Yeah.
What do
This
we
ain't going to
care?
be around in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, who gives, a flying ninny about if he's dead or not? We bring him back 2 issues later. It's nothing. No big deal.
Or in the same issue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because, like, it's like 4 stories in each issue. And it's like, the Joker died here. Oh, the Joker's back. He got arrested. He's out of jail. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did learn, growing up when we did, I always thought Catwoman was a villain, because you see the 66 show, and it's like, oh, okay, she's purely a villain. But in these Golden Age stories, like, Batman, like, lets her go constantly. It's like, oh, he caught her, and it's like, ooh, she fell off the boat going to jail. It's like, every single time she gets out of, and Robin's like, did you let her go? And he's like, I'll never tell.
Yeah.
It's like, crazy.
I'll never tell. Groin scissors. Tell me. Yeah. Okay. So is that all you had cooking as far as the reads? What do you got?
Yeah, as
brewing
far
there?
as reads, I was hoping to have a book to show off here today.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mentioned during the Free Comic Book Day thing that I saw it as a liberation day. I was going to start shopping online more and not feel guilty about it.
Right.
And I halfway did that because I did do my due diligence. I want to buy local, especially when it's a pricier book, which the one that I bought is a pricier book. Mm-hmm. It was actually one of the reasons I went to Old Man Con a couple weeks ago because I'm like, oh, someone will have this book there. It might be ridiculously overpriced. I gave myself an allowance. It's like, okay, if it's under this amount, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Nobody had it. So I was out of luck there. And then I went around town looking for it, and nobody had it. It's a wall book, so nobody had it. And then we even have a shop here that has like a back issue request, like on their website. And it's like, okay, I still want to support local. So I sent them a request. And I've sent them requests before, and usually they get back to you. They say they'll get back to you within 4 days. And usually they do. Like I asked them about New Teen Titans #2, the first Deathstroke. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to buy that one local. And they wrote back pretty quick. It's like, oh, no, we don't have it, but it does come in from time to time, yada, yada, yada. This time I asked if they had Batman number 635. Which is the return of Jason Todd under the Red Hood, and didn't get a reply for a week and a half. So I'm like, okay, I did my part. I've assuaged myself of guilt. So
yes.
I went on eBay, and this book, I mean, this even inspired a gimmick that I want to enter into our Price Guide is Right segment at some point. This is the most expensive Batman book of the 2000s. And that's a question I wanted to pose. Like, what is the most expensive X book in X decade? According to our, handy website. Because I went through the entire decade of 2000 to 2010, and this one is it. Okay. It's kind of like the Detective 880, where it's like, they're not worth anything except that one issue. And this one, of course, The Return of Jason Todd. And I see it online for 150, 200, and more. And it's like, okay, I gave myself a budget of $100, which is more than I want to spend for anything. But it was the last thing I needed to get me back to pre-crisis. And it was just bugging me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that now that I bought it, they're going to be like, facsimile edition, available now. But who cares?
Right.
So I went on and I saw it for like 150. I'm like, no, I can't do that. Saw it for 100 and I'm like, after tax and shipping, no. Found it for 75. And I'm like, it was 75, but I had like 8 people watching it. And I'm like, okay, screw it. I'm going to order the damn thing. So I ordered it. I thought it was going to be here today. It's going to be here tomorrow. So I can't show it off.
Next week, man.
Next week. Next week we'll show it off.
What about condition on that book? Is it a...
The pictures were not stock, which is good. Because I tell you, I picked the absolute wrong time to become an online shopper, because not only do we have stock images, but we have facsimiles. So you can make your store look like it has Golden Age books in great condition or Silver Age books in great condition, because people who aren't like us don't know any better. So they might buy a facsimile of Detective 27 and pay $80 for it. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting Detective 27 for only $80?
Yeah.
Because people are putting them up for that much, which is ridiculous. And I mean, it was a ridiculously overpriced facsimile anyway. I think it was like $8 or $9. It is thick. But people are getting scammed. They're getting taken. And I mentioned to you that I was looking so much that the word rare means nothing to me anymore. That has lost all meaning. Because, Dark Hawk #1 from Marvel back in 1990 or whatever?
Rare.
That book ain't rare.
No, it's
that
rare.
Book ain't rare.
It's rare. They say it's rare. It's rare. Okay.
Sleepwalker #1?
Rare.
Ain't rare. X-Men Volume 2 #1?
Rare.
Not rare.
Oh,
dude.
Dagnabbit. Oh.
And that's one. I mean, that one has a facsimile edition. X-Men Volume 2 #1.
Oh wow! Get out of here! Really?
And it was like $7 or $8.
Wow.
And it's like, that book's in the dollar bin. Even the wraparound cover is in the dollar bin. Friggin' ridiculous. But
And rare,
but
by
yeah,
the
so
way,
I bought-
it has to be in caps. It has to be.
in caps, maybe with an asterisk on either side of it. Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta know. You gotta know. But so I bought that issue of Batman. And it's one of those that like caught me by surprise when I was backfilling, because I assumed there's that iconic cover where like Batman is like, no, it can't be you, with the orange background, and I expected that to be the spendy book of that era of Batman. And I did spend like $15 for it. Like a couple of years ago, and I'm like, oh, I got that one off the list, so everything else will be easy. I think that was $638, and then $635. It's like, oh no, this book is expensive. So ordered that, and I also ordered Batman Annual number 25, which I did see at a store, but it was $100. I bought it for $7. It's not a rare book, but it does tie up the Under the Red Hood thing, and it gives the full rundown on how Jason came back.
Right.
Which Jeff Loeb did not read, because he didn't know that that Jason was actually in Hush and not Clayface. It was all smoke and mirrors. But looking forward to getting those. Looking forward to actually reading that. It's so weird spending so much money on a book that Judd Winnick wrote.
Yeah, and was coming out when you were buying comics, and
That's another.
What's that?
That's another thing, because it's like, it's one of those things I can almost set my watch to. When I drop a book, an issue or two later, everybody else should be buying that damn book, because it's going to be worth hundreds.
Yeah.
It happened with Tech 880, and it happened with this one, because I dropped off a Batman when, I think it was at the end of the Azzarello story, Broken City or whatever the hell it was. Azzarello is one of the writers that made me drop Batman and Superman within the same year, which is a rare feat.
Yeah, quite the achievement.
It was terrible. It was just not good. Because he did like For Tomorrow, I think it was, with Superman, and I think Jim Lee was the artist on it. Mm-hmm. So everyone's like, "Ooh, hush again," and no, it was not good. And then I heard Winnick was coming on, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, no, I'm not going back to Batman." And then all of a sudden, there's a grip of books in his run that are worth, double digits into triple digits. So what are you gonna do? So an announcement, a public service announcement to anybody watching who does buy comics. I dropped Absolute Green Lantern, Absolute Flash. So pick up those next issues.
Yeah.
You're gonna make a bundle.
Yep. I was gonna make a montage for the books that you dropped and play some sad music and black and white.
Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah, exactly. But decided against it, even though I got my own drop C to talk about later. But yeah, it's almost like when you think of it, how the issue before isn't worth a ton, the issue after isn't worth a ton, but that one book, Swamp Thing number 37.
There you go.
The first appearance of John Constantine. That's the biggie. Everything else in that run is not
even the anatomy
loaded.
lesson is reasonably valued.
Yeah, but then you get to 37, it's like whoa,
done deal.
Yeah.
But then you get like that weird stuff where it's like, because who was it? Was that Tuttlebin or Bissett
On 37,
who drew that?
That was
who's drawing that era? Because like he drew like a lot of people who look like the singer Sting, and like people were like, oh no, this is the first Constantine.
Right.
It's like there's like 5 or 6 different first appearances of him because this dude just drew people who look like Sting.
Yeah, DC Sampler being the most.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So right.
Crazy.
Yeah. I know it is crazy, but you are absolutely correct too. It's like when you're on a series, you're like waffling on it. You let it go. The moment you let it go, it's that boom. This issue ends up becoming the hot thing, and you struggle to grab it later, and it's pain in the keister. So
yeah, and it's not like oh, this one's worth $10 now. It's like, no, this one's worth $150.
I know, it sucks. Pisses me off.
Oh yeah.
Been there. I don't like it. So
no, it ain't as bad as Tech 880 though, because I literally dropped it the issue before. Like Tech 879 was my last issue, and then 880 was there, and I didn't get it.
Don't they have facsimile or facsimile, as you say? You say tomato, I say tomato. If it's not out yet, I think it's coming out. So yet again.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too iconic not to. Because I mean, it is Joker covers are kind of passé, but that's a phenomenal cover. I mean, that one catches your eye, and it's like, oh, I wonder what the story inside looks nothing like it. But yeah, I mean, that's a T-shirt book, right? That's a T-shirt cover.
Darn right.
Yeah. Now I have to Google to see if there is a facsimile edition. Let's see here, Detective.
I could have swore
Comics,
I read there was one being released.
How do you spell facsimile?
Facillme. Maybe.
Yep, facsimile edition, pre-order.
So it's coming out. Maybe I read it in this solicits.
It's going to be released August 6th.
Thank you. Yes.
So
memory
now,
served.
Let's rub some salt in my wound here. Batman 635 facsimile. Okay. Yes, there will be.
Okay.
Let's see here. We have a news report here from 13th Dimension here.
Okay.
5 modern landmark issues added to DC's facsimile edition line in months ahead. And we have here a Saga of the Swamp Thing 37 facsimile, which I think came out already. That came out March 12th. Then we have Action Comics 775, the What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way. We have Batman 655, the first Grant Morrison issue. We have Tech 880, of course. We have Batman Harley Quinn #1 finally getting an actual reprint. And we have Batman 635. So, 3 books that I just added to my library. One was a gift. One was a very generous gift.
They're OG, bro. You know, it's always better
Oh, yeah.
to have that. But I mean, I
Yeah.
know you're just there for the story. It really doesn't matter. I mean, but even
No,
then,
I do like having the originals. I would definitely prefer having the originals.
yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I know you can get kind of weird. Like the trade wouldn't work. You'd still need the single
Yeah, oh yeah, I need
issue,
the issues. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whether it's facsimile or the OG.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I can't do the trade or the digital and consider it owned. You know, I did buy like one facsimile that I did put into my collection as like, okay, this is going to be the book that I have outside of Golden Age stuff, of course, is stuff like New Mutants '98, which is like a weird facsimile because like what is a facsimile supposed to do? If you ask me, it's to fill holes in collections. But I think they were intended to like get the civilian into like landmark issues. But then when you put a book like the New Mutants '98 out there, which is terrible and has nothing to do with the Deadpool people know now, I don't know who that serves. It's like you give someone who went to see a Deadpool movie that issue, they're gonna be like, "What is this crap?"
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know because I don't really collect those. I've never really bought them. I mean, just using
I'll buy the Golden Age ones when those pop up. I'll get them.
right, but just to use New Mutants '98 as an example, since you brought it up, that was an issue I owned that
Okay.
I didn't get rid of by selling it. I just lost it to the annals of time. Like
Sure.
I moved, I became an adult. It was left in a basement, and
Yeah.
voila, now it's gone. And I bought my kid a Deadpool little statue, and on the back, of course, is a picture of the cover of New Mutants '98. And all I can do is be like, "Yeah, I used to own that. I used to have that."
And it's a horrible cover.
Yeah, it's not the best. No.
It's an awful cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but still, I mean, I always say it: nostalgia, nostalgia, nostalgia. So maybe that's where it's
Could be.
the target audience. You know, you want the same ads, you want the
Yeah.
same vibes you had when you were a kid buying that off the rack, perhaps. You know. But yeah, I don't know. But the thing too with like ownership, I don't make a big deal out of it. So, like, let's say I wanted that story just for the story, I'd be okay with a trade. You know, personally.
Well, joke's on us because there was no story in that book.
Well, what are you gonna do?
It's true.
So, Chris, I planned this week to talk about my bat stack because I had a shipment coming in and I was all excited. But unfortunately, MCS sent out an email saying delays. Delays are inevitable. We're switching over to a new sorting system, so it could take several days before your books are shipped. In mine were delayed, but only for a couple days. So I did today, as a matter of
Because
fact.
they're in the same city you're in, right?
Couple
Or thereabouts,
cities away.
huh?
But I
Okay.
mean, like, yeah, it's shipping purposes. It's a stone's throw.
Yeah.
So I
It's
do
a waste
have
of a stamp.
Yeah, I do have a big stack here. So this is more like a teaser for next week. These are some of the books that I will, in fact, be getting into. I don't think I'm going to show off everything here, but just so you guys can see. I got, unless you want to see everything, I don't know.
Yeah. I got nothing but time.
I will do it quick then. So, Exquisite Corpses #1, Image, Dick Tracy.
Who wrote that?
That's Tinian.
Okay.
And I got Dick Tracy #10, Mad Cave, Batman, Absolute Batman 8, which, if you remember when I was reviewing #7 on our little airwaves here, I was not too pleased with the whole villain gimmick. But as you guys are about to find out, I might have changed my tune a wee bit on that. Weapon
Okay.
X-Men Quattro number 4. Fantastic.
I heard that book was canceled.
Yeah, surprise. I
Crazy.
know that I thought this thing was going to go 100. I really did.
Oh, hundreds.
If I had my druthers and had I made a bet in Vegas, Fantastic Four 32. This series is coming to a close.
That's the penultimate issue, I think.
I haven't read. I mean, I haven't. I did read 31. I didn't bring it to discuss on the show, but I did enjoy it. So, World's Finest 39, which is just obligatory. I'm just buying it now because it keeps on going. So it's got this weird perverted sense of loyalty from one.
I went all in on the We Are Yesterday, so I'm sure I'm getting that one, or if I haven't already gotten it.
Yeah, well, you are.
And that looks pretty bad.
It hasn't been very good. The last 2 installments are very ho hum. Amazing Spider-Man number 4. Here's another one that I talked about. Number 1, I talked up number 1, and 2 and 3 were yet again ho hum. Okay, so
Huckleberry.
Yeah, well, my finger wasn't on the button, and to explain to people,
I'm your Huckleberry.
if a book is only okay, that's the sound it will get. It is just like your soda, the Huckleberry flavored soda. It's just merely
It's okay.
I'm your Huckleberry.
okay. Now, initially you would see this and think it's an homage to Why the Last Man, but it's not. It's absolute Flash. Number 3. I have already terminated this from my poll as
Me too.
advertised. Yes, on previous episodes of the Bada Bin Show. So I think I'm only signed up through 4. But that do you see that? Is this not Why? Like,
It looks
on.
a lot like Why.
Dude, come on. Speaking of penultimate, this is ultimate. This is the end of the current volume of X Factor. X Factor number 10. Wolverine number 9, which is I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to review this next week because the storyline is going in this very odd direction after last anniversary issue.
The anniversary, the 400.
Dude, I'm really skeptical. So let's see if they can pull it off.
I think they need to go with the Lobo model with Wolverine. I don't think he doesn't need an ongoing. I mean, just give him a couple of minis a year. Keep the damn legacy numbering if you want, but I mean, I can't think of a single Wolverine story from his ongoings that I would tell anybody they need to read.
Well,
ever.
I mean, they do have the minis in conjunction.
I know.
With the regular series, so half of your wish
that's
or
terrible.
dream came true.
Yeah.
This series
Just go with the Lobo model.
It hasn't been terrible, so I guess here we go.
I'm your Huckleberry.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
But is it worth $5 a month?
Well, I don't pay $5. You see.
But if you did,
if I did, then no, absolutely not. And we can get into that a little bit later because, as you well know from our private conversations, I've had some choices to make, and that extra $1 definitely made a difference on some of my decisions here. Fire and Ice number 2. Looking forward to digging in on this one. Aquaman number 5, which has been, I know I've kind of gotten mixed responses from you and Chris Yu as far as the quality of this book, but I've been enjoying the dickens out of it. So that's fun. This is it, man. So next week I'm definitely going to review this, and I got the graphic at the ready for Action Comics 1086 because this is the final issue of Action I have coming my way for the foreseeable future. And the last one sucked so bad. So it's
I didn't
bittersweet.
even those just got filed. I didn't even bother with them.
Yeah,
the Superstars is such crap.
You're fine. Yeah. Geiger number 14.
I can't wait for Spider-Man Superstars though.
It's on the way. No, it's not. Please no.
Fingers crossed. No.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Everything crossed. Robin, please cross your groin. Phantom Road. That was issue number 12. Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger number 6. And in this stack, I have Redcoat number 12. Another surprisingly good read that their Redcoat is. Now, there is one book I did read immediately after opening
Mm-hmm.
my big fat box of books, and that happens to be right behind me here. So, the brand spanking new Superman
Ugly
book,
cover.
very ugly cover, Superman Unlimited. Now, it's funny you say it's an ugly cover because one of the things I do enjoy about the cover is this thing right here. It's
What does it say?
it's a corner box. It is a
Oh,
legit corner box. There is an
how
image of
about that?
Superman there. So that makes it official. Problem is, you got the Summer of Superman on the top, and then in the corner down here at the bottom,
All in.
all
Yeah.
in. Make up your mind, guys. Like
We just
whoever,
need the Dawn of DC, the Rebirth Swoop, the New 52,
yeah,
Brightest Day. Let's do
dude,
it.
the Pepsi logo. Like what
Mm-hmm,
next? I
mm-hmm.
mean,
Spider-Man's head in the corner.
Surgeon General's warning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, just enough. We get it. It's
Yeah.
a Summer
A
of
little
Superman.
too much with the branding. Yeah,
It's
we get
all
it.
in. I don't know if they're afraid of offending the dude who came up with the all in concept. Like, Joe's going to be pissed off if we take it off the covers. We've only had it on
Mm-hmm.
there now for a full calendar year. I really don't remember how long it's been on there now, but it's just unnecessary. That much I
It's
can
been a
tell you.
minute. Yeah.
It is.
But then again, they kept the New 52 on there for 4 years.
Oh, geez, Louise. The
Like it
curtains
was
and
like
everything, the
issue.
rebirth curtains, that was
Oh, that was
forever.
awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, they just don't know when to quit. But
Mm-mm.
hopefully, please, sweet the Baba Justice, keep the corner box. Please. It's awesome. It looks great. That is a
Mm-hmm.
Dan Moore design, even sweeter. And it does harken back to when I was digging on Superman, 12, 13 years old, and they had the corner box. So please, please, please keep it. Can't stress that enough. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this was top of the read pile. I yanked it out. I wanted to talk about it on today's one problem. And that is this book was
I'm your huckleberry.
okay. Number one issue, and it serves as I suppose, great launching point to the uninitiated new Superman reader. If they do,
So you
in
get bit by
fact,
the spider?
he does not,
Oh, okay.
but it does recap Superman's life and how he came to be and how some of his supporting cast are involved in his existence as well. Because if you read the Free Comic Book Day issue, Chris had mentioned when I talked about it on this show, like, that's going to be the first chunk of the book. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, no, it is. And he was right. It is. So the first quarter of this is Free Comic Book Day, then recap, and then finally the last few pages is teasing
You get story. Yeah.
what's to come. And what's to come is fairly intriguing, I suppose, and it seems interesting enough. It's just the whole middle of the book is okay. He crash landed in a rocket. The Kents found him. John Kent was taken away and aged up. He was a legionnaire, and da 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 da. Okay, great, wonderful. But for anybody who's read Superman for any amount of time, this really feels like if you were paying $4.99, you got a little ripped off. For recap, that's what you got. Recap. As
But
far as
I suppose we could damn it with faint praise, because if this book came out 15 years ago, that would be the first 6 issues.
slow burn, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the Ultimate Spider-Man thing. Like it was an 8-page story that took 8 issues to tell.
Yeah, well, I mean, he incorporated Slott, that is, because it was Slott and Albuquerque here, the creative team. Slott, for anybody who did read the Free Comic Book Day issue, there's a giant asteroid plummeting to Earth. Superman's got to stop it. Lo and behold, underneath the thin shell, much like a Skittle, the candy-coated shell, it's just a giant piece of kryptonite, and he's doing his damnedest to stop it from basically hitting the Earth and eliminating all life as we know it. And he blacks out. And when he does, that's when you get that entire recap thing. Towards the end of the issue, he comes to, and it's revealed he's been out for 3 months. So when he finally does open his peepers, the world he knew has changed considerably, because when that kryptonite landed on Earth, it made it accessible to virtually everyone. So, you know, what dangers lie ahead, I'm sure plenty. I'm sure many adventures abound, and everybody has kryptonite, so Superman's in a world full of trouble there. And I mean, that's cool enough. I mean, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and see where it goes.
Sure.
It's just this first issue, and that was my complaint about the Summer of Superman special, was how I felt like Slott was writing down to appease readers that may not even exist, you know?
They don't.
Or
We know they don't.
the whole, oh yeah,
We know they're not coming.
maybe
Yeah.
someone saw the movie and they're gonna jump into the comics. Well, this is a nice, easy way for them to digest Superman lore. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, ultimately,
I'm your huckleberry.
that's it. It was okay. So hopefully number 2 picks up a tick. We get more meat from the story, and yeah, good things happen. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
You didn't get this in your most
Not
recent
yet.
shipment, because it was released
Yeah.
this week, I believe.
Yeah, my I think they shipped mine after last Wednesday, so
Okay. All
just
right.
missed the cut.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris. I should get a nickel for every time I say the name Superman today, because I'm doubling down, baby.
Ruh-roh.
Old Rutro is right. Something else I read was Absolute Superman number 7. Now, this came in on my last shipment, and you know, I've enjoyed the book. I know you dropped it, but overall, it hasn't been consistently good, but it's had its moments, and I really can't complain too much about the product. But I gotta say, this is a villain-centric issue, of course, with Brainiac, as you see there on the cover, and I thought it was fantastic. Now, I alluded to being a hypocrite earlier with the whole, like, showing off Absolute Batman number 8, and how the gimmick with Mr. Freeze was like, okay. All right, you're just going to stir the pot with a villain and give us a different interpretation of a villain. Yay. But I thought it was really creative and done very well here by Jason Aaron, because Brainiac is always portrayed as this very cold, calculated, hyper, uber intelligent being who clones himself, and there's been many iterations of Brainiac. This is no different, except the Brainiac on Earth was basically a reject clone. One that was not created for greatness. He was actually just created for manual labor. He was a janitor, essentially. You know, he was a maintenance man who, after many years of performing his duties, started to wonder why. What is this all about? And when he went to investigate, found out he'd been abandoned years prior. And he's absolutely mental, man. And it turned out really, really good. I was so pleased with this issue. And I know I'm probably going to read Absolute Superman number 8 and go, you know, because yet again, it's all been okay, but nothing's really elevated to the point where I'm like, I can love it. Except for this one.
Yeah.
I love this issue. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So, but you will never read it because you have canceled it. So,
And I actually came very close to canceling all of the absolutes last weekend. I
oh
filled
well,
out
what made you
my
stick around
pre-order.
for the ones that you stuck around with?
I stuck around with Batman, and I kept Martian Manhunter. I didn't want to sleep on Martian Manhunter. I haven't read it yet.
Hmm.
I have the first two now, but I don't want to miss out if it is something special, which it seems like it might be. And Batman, I've enjoyed. It's just, I think what I said to you was like, I'm just not jazzed, you know. And the more that we're told, the free comic book day special soured me a lot on it because it's like, oh, we're already going to cross the streams here, which is lazy and unearned. And I flash back to, as I think anybody of our vintage and in our hobby would do, to the Ultimate line back in the early 2000s, where it's like, I hated most of that, but I knew it all felt important. Like I out of the three launch books, I liked Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Marvel Team Up was more often than not bad.
Hmm.
And Ultimate X-Men was written by Mark Miller, and it sucked, in my opinion.
Right.
It was full of like that edge that Mark Miller has, and I mean, even when I was a kid, I thought that was a little much, where everybody's just angry all the time and terrible to one another. But I still read it, and there was an energy to the Ultimate line, and another thing about Marvel Team Up, like they would introduce ultimate versions of, like, here's Captain America, here's Iron Man, here's
Right.
whoever. So they would give them one issue instead of forcing them into a book. Like, we don't need an Ultimate Flash, we don't need Ultimate Green Lantern, we don't need Martian, we don't need all these characters to get their own damn ongoings at $5 a pop. We don't need that. So Marvel did it, I think, in the right way, and made it feel more organic and important. In that, I think we just attributed importance to it. Where with the Absolute line, we're just being told this is important, this is important, this is important. And the more we're told that, the less I believe it.
Mm.
And now that we're rushing to a crossover already, it's like, what was even the point of this? I mean, are we? I don't even want to put this out into the ether, but are we really rushing toward an absolute crisis? Because there's going to be one.
Whoa. Don't
Yeah.
say it, man. Don't do it. Take
You
it
know
back.
it's coming.
Can we rewind time? You know. Well, I was just saying, I'm trying to find the issue here, about Absolute Flash, how it looked like a Y the Last Man cover. But
Yeah.
I didn't mention that little monkey he has on his shoulder
It's
is
Grodd, right?
It's Grodd. Right, it's Grodd.
Why?
So
Why?
why did they have to make Grodd a little green monkey or whatever? There it is. I
Who's
found
asking
it.
for that? Who does it help?
No, he's a little blue monkey.
Hmm.
Um, okay, this may end up being the most clever, intelligent twist in the universe. I'm just not going to be around for it because it kind of
Same.
soured me. Yet, in contrast to that, talking about this version of Brainiac, this absolute Brainiac, is I liked so much how they played with the character, how they,
So there's a
tweaked
good
it.
reason for that. Because the
Well,
regular Brainiac sucks.
it's funny you should say that because I was going to say, uh, how many prior versions of Brainiac do you actually think are cool versions of Brainiac? You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
none.
immediately, well, wait, hold on, because I was thinking, and this is somewhat aesthetic, is the B13
Oh, the Y2K?
Y2K
Yeah.
Brainiac, where they actually use like a computer generated
Oh, the
image.
awful reboot. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, like I understand it's awful, but it's got this weird appeal to me, and
No, it was different. It was
it
novel.
is,
Yeah.
and I favor it in a way, So to see this version of Brainiac is not one that I have seen before or even ever possibly thought up on my own or anything, and he's dangerous. He's unpredictable. He's geez, all these characteristics that I wouldn't normally assign with that character.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's such an intriguing path to go down. While some of the other ones, for example, the Mr. Freeze and Absolute Batman, is more based on, not 100%, but more on design, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're making him, he's not the guy in the freaking dome head, you know,
Yeah.
hold suit, whatever. Now he's this monstrous being. Okay. Grodd. He's not a big hulking gorilla anymore. He's a little monkey.
He's a
Okay.
little capuchin now. Yeah.
But we made a character that was already dangerous, incredibly unpredictable, and wild in Brainiac. I'll take that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just personally. But anyway. Are we ready to move on to the next book?
What's the next book?
Well, funny you should ask, because we're keeping in theme with absolutes and ultimates, and I have here to present to you Ultimate Wolverine number 5. Now, the Ultimate line currently, when I read the solicits, it's always prepare yourself, buckle up, Buttercup, for the ultimate version of whoever.
Insert character here.
Exactly. This one's North Star. This one was Sabretooth in particular with issue number 5. And even then, the whole thing is a gimmick with Wolverine essentially being mixed with the Winter Soldier, right? And it's not a bad book. Definitely a huge slow burn on this one. Very moody. It's a very cinematic book where the images carry a lot more weight sometimes than the script itself does. Chris Condon writes this book, by the way, and
he does Green Arrow.
Yes, he's got his fingerprints on a few different titles now.
Yeah, and that's pretty good.
Well, this one, it's okay. It's let me find the sound again because it's apt.
I'm your Huckleberry.
It's an okay book. There's nothing particularly wrong with it, but it doesn't jazz me up. It doesn't get me excited. When it arrives, I'm like, okay, all right, I will read this when I feel like reading it, and I'm not too excited to do so. And what I was going to say is we were talking about how much we pay for books.
Yeah.
This one's $1 more than the $2.59 book I pay for with discount. So this is $3.59. And I stopped to think, man, for a book that I'm not really getting out of bed for in the morning, do I want to spend that extra dollar? You know, if it was a $2.59 book, you keep it. What's $2.59? What's $2.50? You spend money on worse, right? I mean, how much?
That's a box of Tic Tacs now.
Yeah, exactly. So, just to let you guys know, because I am corny, dorky, and weird, this book has in fact been cut from my poll. It's over. It's done. And it has been sent to a little town we like to call here at Bada Bin, Dropsville. So I read a comic, and this is what I think about it. Listen up. Here we go!
It's the next book to Dropsville, and I'll meet you at the station. It's either inconsistent or so boring that it's painful. Oh no no. Oh no no no. Oh no no no. Dear God, why is this book so slow?
I gotta be honest here too, Chris. Like, we always criticize right for the trade, but this Ultimate Wolverine volume, this version, you're better off just waiting to get it collected, because individually it's just, I don't know, man, it's pretty dull, you know?
And I mean, from how you've described it, it just seems it's just it's an artery for slabbers.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm slabbing the first this Ultimate Sabretooth, not the other Ultimate Sabretooth that we had 20 years ago, but this Ultimate. Who gives a crap?
Yeah, I know. It's very, I feel like I say this too often, but gimmicky, and I don't
Yeah.
think it's worthy of the gimmicky tag because, yet again, it's not the worst thing I've ever read. It's not like
Hmm.
this story itself is trying to jam that fact
Oh,
down your throat.
I'm sure Condon is being told, "Hey, we need this many. We need stories don't get press anymore."
Mm,
You know, like I like to say that a good story is never going to go out of style, but it doesn't get picked up by the news.
right.
You know, nobody's like, "Oh, this is a great story." It's like, "No, no, this is controversial. You'll
Yeah.
never believe the third page of this book. What did Superman say?" Or here's a first appearance. I went to a shop last week. I
Hmm.
sent you the picture of the giant hush thing. They're a facilitator for slabs. So like you buy stuff there, you leave it there. You don't even take it home. They send it to be slabbed. Who are these people?
I don't know.
And what are they getting out of it?
It is a curious case indeed because, I mean, how many times, you would think, okay, slabs have to be worth X amount of money before you even slab something. Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No.
because it's been done so much
Mm-hmm.
that, and you were talking about the facsimiles earlier. People are slabbing those
Oh
like
yeah.
everything on
Mm-hmm.
the face of the earth in magazine form or baseball or card
Mm-hmm.
form is slabbed. So
Yep.
now you're walking into stores and you can find slabs for like $10. You
Yeah.
know, probably
Because
cost somebody three times that just to get the damn thing slabbed. Four or five times that was
it
shipping. You know.
it reminds me of going to a GameStop in the late 2000s when everybody was done with the Rock Band crap,
Mm-hmm.
and like the entire store was full of plastic guitars.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
nobody wanted that crap anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, please take them. They're a
Mm-hmm.
fire hazard. Get them out. These slabs are just like that. And a buddy of mine earlier today sent me something where people are trying to slab their slabs
Okay.
because if they order a slab online, it might come damaged. It might come with a crack in it. So they want a slab for the slab. And they're not joking.
All right. I mean,
Where's it end?
I don't know, man, but had you
Mm,
mentioned this 5, 10 years ago, I'd be like, you're joking. Come on, dude. How
mm-hmm.
ridiculous can people be? But now
Yeah, it'd be a
I
Saturday
know.
Night Live sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people can be that
Oh
absurd. So
yeah.
yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
Go
it's going
for
to
it.
be like Troika dolls. You know, it's like you're not even going to be able to see the comic through all the damn hazy, fake ass glass that you have these things under. It's ridiculous.
Do we have any comments yet? I'm wondering if anybody else has
We
written in.
don't.
Oh, okay.
We don't.
We're alone
Zero.
in the universe. Okay.
Children behave. I think
Okay.
we're
All
alone
right.
now.
That was embarrassing. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so now I'll move on. I did read a back issue this week, and this is something I showed off because I had acquired it, reacquired it during free comic book day festivities. And,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's no secret. I love the era of the Hulk, the Joe Fixit era,
Mm-hmm.
more than possibly any other era. And so Peter David actually had a crossover with Web of Spider-Man Incredible Hulk. And here I have Web of Spider-Man number 44. This is actually the first part of this Warzone story that trickles into Hulk 349. Um, some of you may know that's the one where Joe Fixit is like swatting Spider-Man away. That
Mm-hmm.
is a pretty cool cover here. And I feel like since the start of our program, I have not been true to myself
Mm-hmm.
because I found myself getting embarrassed and humiliated when I don't pronounce creators' names correctly. But in real life, I
Mm-hmm.
say the wrong names all the time. And in many ways, in many instances, I've grown up saying the wrong name. It's just the way I read it in my head, stuck. So I'm gonna hit you with one right now.
Okay.
An Alex Saviuk.
I say Savick.
Savick. I say
Yeah,
Saviuk.
Yeah,
I
I
said,
don't.
yuck.
We might both be wrong. I don't know.
Probably. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's like a couple episodes ago with Dick Giordano.
Oh,
I
Giordano.
That's
Yeah.
how I say it. Giordano, and it's okay. In my head that makes sense.
Niciesa.
Yeah, there you go, man. Whatever.
Di
Whatever you want.
Mateus. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Busick.
And so from this day forward, I'm just gonna say names the way I want to say them. This is my
Sure.
advanced
You don't mean no
apology.
harm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's my advanced apology to everybody involved because I've been trying so hard to like say things right, have you correct me, um, everything, and I've just been a fool. So I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm letting
Just own it.
my mispronunciation flag fly.
Yeah. Just own it.
Batman
Yeah.
might have to investigate. But yes,
Hmm.
Alex Saviak Savick, is that what you say?
I say Savick. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I'll say Saviak Savick. His art on Web of Spider-Man, I always enjoyed it. It's very simple. You're looking this up. I can hear you click clacking.
How to
And
pronounce Savick?
yes,
Savick. See here.
I emphasize the yuck.
Let's see here. Rate the pronunciation difficulty of it. Let's see here. Can I play a sound?
Let's see if you
Pronunciation.
can.
Did you hear that?
Hey,
I think you're right.
I think I might be. Might be the only one I'm ever
Saviak.
right on. So there we go. Um, anyway,
It's
what
a
I was
surname that is of Philippine origin and is used globally.
okay. Well, I think he's a very
Yeah.
good artist, and I know, and it's kind of interesting because I will often talk about how much I enjoy Jeff Purr's art over Incredible Hulk at that point in
Hmm.
time. And this is '88, late '80s, and a lot of people can't stand him. So I don't know how you feel about Saviak's work, but it is
He's above the Milgram line,
he's above the Milgram line, but he's a
but very, very
very
pedestrian.
yeah, stripped down. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Hmm.
It doesn't have a lot of depth to it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like that all the time. This
Like,
story,
Marvel had like a little bullpen of folks like that back
yeah,
then. I'd put like a Ron Lim in there too. I think.
yeah, Ron Lim, sure.
Yeah.
Trying to think, actually, especially with like his Captain America stuff. I
Hmm.
think maybe he has a little bit more depth and he was a little bit more to the times than maybe Mr. Saviak was. But alas, this issue is freaking great.
Friends, Ron Friends.
Ron Friends, yes. Web of Spider-Man 44, whole lot of fun. I do recommend if you see this in the bins, go pick it up. You don't need to know what was happening beforehand. Peter David in the late 80s was really at his pinnacle, uh, using humor to his advantage, as well as just being able to weave together a very enjoyable single issue comic book fun. And I stress the word fun. Here, Peter is visiting Las Vegas to promote his new book of what? Pictures of Spider-Man, of course. And there's some really funny scenes with him trying to appear on local TV. Um, Now, if you're not familiar with the Hulk at this point in time, this era, he was a Vegas mob enforcer who was dating this beautiful, very stacked woman named Marlowe, who, spoiler alert, goes on to marry Rick Jones later down the line. But here it's interesting because he treats Marlowe pretty gosh darn bad. But when these people who are dressed in military garb, kind of doing their own, as the title suggests, war zone in the streets of Las Vegas for their entertainment, he takes offense to the fact that they may have, in fact, hurt Marlowe. Spider-Man intervenes. Joe Fixit is on the scene, and on the screen now we have this wonderful scene of Spider-Man using his spider senses properly to realize that Joe Fixit, this gray dude who looks like the Hulk, is actually, yes, in fact, the Hulk who is presumed dead. Um, So yeah, definitely pick this up, and I also recommend getting Incredible Hulk number 349 for just a true comic booky, good old comic book. Shall I say the word comic book one more time?
Sure.
Good time. Definitely awesome comic here. Yeah, I loved it. I had so much fun with this, dude.
Very cool.
I wish I could just jump in here, live in these.
It was a good
pages.
time.
Oh,
It was a good
wicked.
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
guy. I loved
Mhm.
it. Oh, so yes. Can you tell how happy and excited I am that I came across this and read it again? Because I haven't, dude, the last time I read this was decades ago, you know?
Sure, sure.
So I knew the outline of the story. I knew essentially the nuts and bolts, but I missed out on a lot of the great joy infused here. So, oh, it really brings me back.
And Webb was overlooked anyway. Back
Oh,
in
yeah.
even in this day. I don't think it ever got a full time creative team. It just seemed to jump from creator to creator to creator.
Writers, most definitely, because Saviak stuck around for a bit.
Simonson was on there for a bit, but then it jumped. Like Danny Fingerroth was on there for a little bit. It was all over the place.
Right. But yeah, this Peter David Penn stuff, man, top notch.
It's a shame he never got like an extended run on Amazing.
You're right.
Because he had like that commuter issue where like Spider-Man was in the suburbs, which was pretty fun.
Well, he had
But,
the death of DeWolf.
Jane DeWolf.
Jane DeWolf.
That was in Spec. Yeah,
Right,
that
the
was
spectacular Spider-Man. He did Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Some
which
Web,
was not
you're
very
right.
good.
Amazing Spider-Man.
He just popped in on a case. He did that commuter one is the one I can think about.
Right.
I could think of.
That's what you're thinking of here. And it's
Yeah.
funny because like one of the more iconic covers, Spider-Man covers, is from my youth, and that is the burning, like the Scarecrow in effigy. It's got like the half Spider-Man uniform on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But that's Peter Parker spectacular as well. That's not Amazing.
Okay.
So yeah. Huh. Food for thought there you just provided to the
Yeah.
party.
Yeah,
Right
it's
on.
weird. No Peter David extended run, and I don't think Brian Bendis wrote a single issue of Amazing Spider-Man, which is weird.
Thankfully. Well, I'm just saying.
Well,
I mean,
if he would have written it 30 years ago, we might have dug it. But
yeah, true. Too true. Can't argue there. I did have one other read, but I don't know if I want to talk about it. I don't even know if I want to do it. You know what? No. Let's just move on.
You want to hum a few bars?
No. I kicked off the show. I introduced you. I talked about me. But there are other key contributors to our program that have been overlooked, and that's my fault. I take accountability for this. So I do want to mention Bada is still here today. Yes, Bada, I know you're there. And then we do have a newer edition that thanks to Chris, I now know has a flock out there in the world. We have separated him from his family. And that's a little dude that we like to call Bada Bird.
Bird up.
Oh, he's up there. He's perched.
There he is.
There he
came
is. Oh,
Bird up.
okay, yes. I can tell you're tired of doing that. You're like, that gimmick is worn down. No more, please.
He kept
stop
falling
it.
off the shelf, so I put him on top of the bookcase.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
So I forgot to bring him down.
Now, when you sent me the picture of the entire flock of Bada birds, why did you not buy them all, bring them home, and reunite a family?
I share the wealth. I want other people to be able to find things in the wild.
Okay. Now, when it comes to Bada bird, I think that was a
people.
bad choice.
Everybody needs Bada bird in their life.
Yeah,
They
well,
need the Guy Fieri bird.
I think you're waiting until post Memorial Day or 4th of July when Bada bird's going to like a buck.
The 50 cents.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then you're gonna open up your wallet and it's gonna go. There we go. Come home with me, Bada birds. Come, please.
I'll order like 50 of them and do like the pickup at, the drive up and pick up thing at Target. It's like someone will actually have to come out to my car with bags full of Bada birds.
That'd be funny. Dude, I don't...
And I'll roll down the window and I'll play that sound.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, no, you'd have to hit him with the full...
Bird up.
Yeah, give him the full gamut of the entire experience. I don't shop at Target or Target at a regular basis or on a regular basis, so I haven't had the opportunity to find any Bada birds in the wild.
It's smart not to, because like you walk in there like to buy like a little box of strawberries and you wind up spending like $150.
Yes, anywhere. It's everywhere.
That's true.
You know, one of the things, I equally love and hate is Walmart pickup because, what I don't like is you can't have them select certain items for you. My case, milk. Because milk can be a fickle beast, my friend. Like, you want the cold, super ice cold, not going to expire for a few weeks milk. And even if they pull good milk, who knows what they're doing with it for the 2 some odd hours before you come to pick it up. Is it in the fridge? Is the fridge the right temperature? Is it going from super cold to semi-cold to warm? I don't know. Can't have it. Other thing...
You might wind up with cheese.
Dude, it's happened to me. Fingerprints, like, I don't know who's pulling my stuff, and like they're molesting my bag of tortilla chips. Then like you gotta take it home and wipe it down and put sanitizer on it. You know, some dude could have been freaking digging for gold and then touching all of your stuff. Grosses me out. But here's what I do like: I only spend what I want to spend.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's no impulse buys there.
Correct. If I go in for that same
done deal.
for those same items, yes, exactly as you just mentioned, $150, $200, easy for $50 worth of stuff I wanted to buy. You know?
For sure.
Oh, another quick thing: they don't bag things properly.
No, they don't. Like you'll get like a little thing in like a bag all by itself, but then they'll cram like 8 things in another bag. It's weird.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't. My craft singles are in one little bag, as you just mentioned, and then like a bunch of random crap, and then they don't put milk in a bag. They don't put sodas, and it's like, you guys are killing me. But what can you do? We live in the future. We should be happy for what we got, but it's in my nature to complain. Just the way it goes.
That's what we do.
So I can go Karen like the best of them, okay? So I haven't on the Walmart employees, nor would I ever do that to... I just mentioned to kick off the show, be nice to retail workers. So I wouldn't, like, complain to them, but I can write a strongly worded email. Yes, indeed. But, yeah. Anyway... Would you like to get into the email correspondence from someone by the name of Chris Yu, another unofficial member of this program? Or is he official? I think
official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. He's definitely more important than Bada Bird.
Well, don't let him know.
Well, I was gonna say I wouldn't say something like that about Bada Bot. I mean,
No.
He done heard. He don't like it.
Whoops. Not a fan.
Yes. So, do you have Chris Yu's email queued up, ready to rock and roll? Then let's have it. Give it to me.
I'm enhancing because my eyes suck.
Okay.
Here we go. Hello, the Bada Show.
Hello.
As you're aware, I've been reading through the Chris's on Infinite Earths blog in order from the beginning over the past few years, off and on. One of the highlights of the blog for me is reading the comments left by other readers throughout history. And the comments I look forward to finding the most are those left by Reggie. I never met the man and may not have ever listened to any of his podcasts before his passing, but I feel like my life is the poorer for never having known him. I never get tired of listening to Chris tell Reggie stories, because through those stories I get to experience a part of Reggie I never knew. He was gone too soon, but never forgotten. Yeah, I do see those as well when I revisit the blog. I see some comments from Reggie. It's another one of those things that makes me feel very analog, and it's like, this ain't real. You know, nothing's real.
What?
Now let's,
What are you talking about? What are you feeling analog? Nothing's real. I don't understand that sentiment.
Like he's still around.
Oh, okay. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I thought
Like
it was
he's
just
still.
like, all right.
No, no, no. Like he's still around. Like he's out there somewhere.
Okay.
You know.
Well, that's the
I'm
beauty
like,
of the internet, right? Certain feelings and comments,
Sure.
and different things expressed can in fact live for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like what was that episode of News Radio where right after Phil Hartman passed, and I think the Andy Dick character is like, no, he's out there somewhere. No, he said he was going to go somewhere. He's going to pretend he's died and he's going to go somewhere, and he like believed that for like the whole episode. It's like, hey, he's out there. He's out there. So there you go. Now let's bada babble, he says. I applaud you for being a glutton for punishment and actually reading the second issue of Hush 2. I didn't plan to read it after my less than positive thoughts on the first issue, and after hearing Dave's new song, I think I made the smart choice. Well, one of the Chris's made the smart choice, the other one did not. As we talked about, I indulged. Absolute Martian Manhunter is hitting all the right buttons for me story-wise, but I have to agree that the logo is boring. The logo sucks. All those Absolute logos are terrible. My number one complaint is that the logo has no depth to it. It just looks flat and colorless. And with how much color has to do with the story inside the covers, I'm shocked at how colorless the logo is. I don't get what they're going for with any of the new logos.
Yeah.
Just very, very flat, very boring. They look like someone said, hey, AI, make a Martian Manhunter logo.
Yeah, I can feel
like,
you on that. I mean, when you first brought it up, I was kind of like, well, what else can they do with it? What could they do to add a little more flair to the titles here? But yeah, they are just really...
They're awful.
Just flat.
They're garbage.
You guys,
yeah.
both Chris's sum it up pretty apt.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it might be a weird hill to die on, but they're terrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we talk about the greatest logos of all time, we're saying like Amazing Spider-Man with the webbing in the background. Marvel's pop into mind. The Incredible Hulk with the bricks. You know,
sure.
Something that makes you feel. You see that title and you kind of get a sense of what the character is or what's going on here. But these are in fact kind of.
I mean, go back to like some of like the random books of the 80s. Like Power of the Atom had a better logo than the Absolute books.
Right.
Captain Atom had better logos than Absolute books. They used to care about that kind of crap. Now, between that and this new look Ultimate line, just I don't even know what they're thinking. Yeah. It's like maybe they're just setting the tone for 50-cent bins in years to come.
Maybe
that's going to be the flavor. Minimalist.
Right.
Chris continues. If I could have any vehicle from comics, I think I'd go with the Robin cycle. Dick Grayson has a Red Robin themed motorcycle that he rode in his solo stories from Batman Family and even the early New Teen Titans issues. Just the fact that it was Robin themed instead of a bat cycle made it interesting to me. But I also wouldn't pass up a ride on the Avengers Quinjet either. And Robin, he uses his crotch on that. That's how he gets on the cycle.
I was thinking you ride that bike for a little while and then you hit somebody with your dong. It's more than like impact.
Yeah.
It's also effervescence. You know,
if physics gets involved, it's pretty crazy.
You're like, boy, it's not bad enough. Your crotch is in my face. Have you been riding a motorcycle for the last couple hours? Because it's damp.
It is damp.
Musty here. I don't like it, you know?
Yeah, a little oily smell to it.
Oh, the Quinjet, though, that was an interesting option. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. My choice for the best Batmobile would be the in-story Jack Edison designed Batmobile from the Bronze Age that came around Batman 270-ish. It was a cross between the Adam West Batmobile and the Richard Petty Superbird from NASCAR, with a low-angled hood sweeping back to an open canopy and bat fins at the back. I think it was a bat. I think it was the Batmobile that Brayfogle designed one replaced. I. It's weird. I can. If someone gave me a test and it's like they just had all pictures of different Batmobiles and I had to like put them at different eras, I would fail it so bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have like no. I think we talked about it last week. Like we're not car guys, so it's like I couldn't tell you where any of them come from. Chris continues. I've started in on my pre-crisis Jason Todd reading project. I'm about 2 issues from Dick passing the Robin costume to Jay as of this writing. I'm hoping to make it up to that first Black Mask appearance by the time that the Batman Red Skies trade comes out, so I can finish this project reading a physical book. I have until August, so I might just make it. And you might. You absolutely might. And man, they're putting out so many of those trades now. Those DC, are they finest? Is that what they're calling them?
Yes.
Oh, and they all look so great. And they have years on the damn spine, so it's like I know I won't be able to buy any of them because if I do, I'll need all of them. And you know that there's going to be like one that like got underprinted because like nobody wants like a certain Legion story or something. So like that one will be like $600 on eBay. Those just seem dangerous for someone like me, for sure. Chris continues. I just want to put this out into the universe so you don't think I want to take it back later. If either of you come to the East Coast, I will take time off from work and come to meet you in person. New York, Massachusetts, I don't care where. Well, maybe not New Jersey. I will come to meet you. There you go.
Wow. I lived in New Jersey before, and excuse me, what they say about armpit of America is true, but I do have a certain love for the area of New Jersey I lived in, despite the fact it stunk like Robin's crotch and was dirty because my son was born there. Bayonne, Jersey City area. So, yeah, I have fond memories, despite the fact it's littered with garbage everywhere. But what are you going to do? You know?
Not much you can do.
I think we should have a Bada Bin summit. We'll have Chris, you, David, Bada Bird, and Bada Bot all together in one place. We can plot out a year's worth of Bada Bins in the future. Make sure all of our triangles are in order.
Our crossovers are, yep.
It's all set, and maybe in a neutral site. Even though I think I mentioned last week or recently, you know, my family's like, let's go to Massachusetts. We got to go to Massachusetts for a holiday or whatever. And I'm like, I just don't want to fly. I love flying. I hate the act of going through the airport, security.
Oh, that's the worst.
Packing, luggage. That's where I'm out.
Have you gotten your real ID yet?
What's that?
Have you gotten your real ID yet?
No.
No, me either.
No, I don't have the TSA quick thingamajiggy or any of that stuff because I don't. Last time I flew was 2019. So.
Well, I mean, you can't leave the state without the real ID now.
What? What are you?
Yeah, the real ID can't. You need a federal identification. You haven't heard of the real ID?
I thought Real ID was like a flying thing, no?
No. Well, I mean, you can't fly without it because you can't leave your state.
This is malarkey. This is mumbo
I agree, but it's true.
Well, stop me,
Yeah,
Fuzz. Have fun trying to catch
They will.
Yeah. Good luck with
They won't let you on the plane.
Yeah, well, what about state lines? What if I drive across state lines? Who's going to say,
Just don't
where's
get
your real
caught.
ID?
Who knows how close we are to having toll booths put up between states? Who knows?
That's garbage. You can't. You know what? Here's let's switch gears for a second because you got me going. Here's something that was lost to time: the toll booth operator. Okay. Here's something we don't have anymore. It used to be such a commonplace thing that you'd have to see someone face to face, give them your spare change to pass from point A to get to point B. Now everything is fast lane. Everything is you either have the device in your on your windshield, or
Yeah, you open the window up on it. Yeah.
or you get a letter in the mail saying you owe X amount of dollars because they took a photo of your license plate. So, I'm going to pour
Let's see
one out
here.
for the toll booth operators out there.
Now, if you want to fly domestically or visit a federal facility, you need a real ID. Enforcement started on May 7th.
Oh, okay. So it is a flying thing.
Yeah, so I guess you could drive across state lines if you want. Unfortunately, my next vacation that we have planned already is back to Hawaii, so I don't think I can drive there.
Yeah, well, you could try.
I could try.
It'd
There is a
take
bridge, right?
It'd be, well, underwater.
Is there a tunnel? Is there a
Ask
tunnel?
Aquaman for some help. I'm about to start Googling real ID. Because, yes.
Yep.
Anyway. Okay. Where were we? Was Chris still?
He's
rocking
done.
and Oh, he's done.
He
done.
wrapped
Okay,
up.
well, thank you, Chris, you,
Mm-hmm.
for, making me look very confused and perplexed over this real ID thing, because I learned something. So that's new. That's great.
Yes.
Would you be willing, because I know we don't have a lot more to talk about today. We don't have a whole bunch of stuff planned. Would you be willing to do maybe an impromptu let's ask Chris about something?
Sure.
Would you be willing and able? You don't mind?
I'm
Silly
all over
song
it.
and all?
Hit it up.
Okay, we're going to do it.
We got comic questions. Ignorance ain't bliss. If you want the answers, let's ask Chris. We got comic questions. Ignorance ain't bliss. If you want the answers, let's ask Chris.
Okay, so,
And I love how you got Jim J. Bullock to sing that.
yeah, he needed the work. he can't afford a real ID.
He can't be the bottom square anymore. The bottom corner.
No. And I'm saying this is very impromptu because this is something that popped in my brain earlier today. It's in the show. Not comics related.
Okay.
And I want to stay G rated. Mind you, G rating only.
Gotcha.
Chris, what is the worst place on your body to get an itch?
Probably my feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain.
Like in between your toes.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel like if you scratch that, you can really break the skin open, and then it's going to hurt for days.
Wow, that's a hearty scratch. That's some serious...
It's a hell of an itch.
That'd be a hell of an itch. That's like, you're jonesing for the needle. Like, I'm scratching. Holy moly, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Between your toes is the official answer, and that is not what I would have guessed, but valid.
What would you have guessed?
The tough or the worst? Well, listen,
Yeah. I'll take that. The worst place to get an itch is probably the roof of my mouth.
Oh.
Because you can't scratch that.
You can lick it. Get up in there
It doesn't
with your
do
tongue.
nothing though.
Yeah.
But you ever get like a scratch on the roof of your mouth?
Yeah.
The worst.
That
The
is
worst.
crappy. Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of bad ones, okay? It's like, this isn't an itch per se, but like if you're eating popcorn, you get that little kernel
Oh,
stuck.
the kernel stuck?
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody's experienced it. Terrible. Horrible.
Or the
thing.
kernel stuck in the back of your throat.
Oh, geez, Louise.
That'll ruin your week.
Yeah. I was going to say, though, like your inner ear is a terrible place to get itchy.
That's not a good place either.
Because what are you going to do? How are you going to satiate that urge
Yeah,
to scratch? You're going to grab a Q-tip and stick it up in there?
probably.
That's dangerous. Your finger, dangerous. You don't want to do that. And like sometimes you'll do the side of your ear.
Oh,
kinda, yeah, like a dog.
Like your cheek area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But man, if you get something going on in that ear canal, that's a crappy place to feel itchy. you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I did say G-rated because
Yeah.
the obvious answers would be Robin related, you know?
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, totally.
Bat cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, you need some ointment for that, some definite
Mm-hmm.
some creamage. But yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Between your toes, roof of your mouth, or in your
In your
ear,
ear.
you do
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
want to feel an itch. I was gonna play the music again, but that's just too much. There's too much music going on here today.
Okay.
Sorry, Fiokes.
Fair enough.
Folks. It's a Fiokes. But yeah, that be
Saviuk.
that. Saviuk. Yeah, exactly. All right, Chris, do you have anything else you want to recap here? Because we're really under for time. We didn't plan this out to be like a
No.
typical Bada Bin experience. I mean, next week, I obviously have many more books to talk about. I got that
Mm-hmm.
fat stack sitting there.
For
Um,
sure.
I will say this: this was the first comic shipment I've ever received, so it's momentous that had books for my kid.
Hey.
So he was asking me like, "Dad, when are the comics coming in, man? What's up with the books?" And I'm like, "Wow, I'm the only person paranoid and weird and freaking out about when my books are coming." But now I brought him into that terrible sensation as well of just, the
Very
wanting,
cool.
the needing of the comic books arriving on my
The waiting
doorstep.
by the mailbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. And he got a nice
Mm-hmm.
little
Mm-hmm.
haul. He got like 14
Oh, good.
books today.
Nice.
So, I mean, they're all like dollar bin stuff, but
Oh,
still.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you
It's-
give him an opportunity to sample. It's
Yeah.
you might discover something he likes. He might discover something he doesn't, and then you're only out a couple bucks for it. So
This is true. And
yeah, smart.
well, yes, and something that we've discussed before was how a lot of these dollar books are all variant covers, and to him it
Oh,
doesn't matter.
dude. Yeah.
He just wants the story. It doesn't matter what cover it has. Irrelevant, right? But for all the talk about variants, I mean, earlier we were making fun of slabs. They're not worth anything. Even these
No.
like 1 in 25 retail variants, and
Nobody wants them.
nobody wants any of these. So why
Yeah.
don't we just nip that in the
Cool.
bud? Stick with, you know what?
Yeah, that's
I'll give you
actually
two
another
covers.
thing I saw. Sure, sure. Another thing I saw in the back of Hush 2, there was
Oh.
like a cover with like, there was a variant with like Superman and like Commissioner Gordon. Who asked for that? Who in the world asked for that? I
Yeah.
don't understand it. Who? And then there's like 15 versions of like Batman fighting Hush. It's like, who asked for this?
I don't know who
Why
needs
does
it
this
in their
exist?
life. Why is it so important?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll give you the two covers. That's fine. That's enough.
But did you ever read the Brian Hibbs? Brian Hibbs did like a 10-point takedown of like the big two and how they treated retail. Well, probably Reggie was still alive because we covered it on the show.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago. And he's like, yeah, you guys want your variants? He's like, you need to earn your variants. If your book sells 50,000 copies, you get one. If your book sells 75,000 copies, you get two. If you sell 100,000 copies, you get three. But we've got books not barely cracking quadruple digits, and they've got 7 or 8. It's like you need to earn it. What's the point?
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's actually something we talked about. We talked about it off the air last week. How I said that I was witness to one of the very few opportunities that the industry has to get new readers in. And it was a guy who went into the shop to buy Berserker. You remember Berserker? The Keanu Reeves book?
Keanu Reeves, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, huge star, who people really dig, trying his hand at comics. Got a great artist on there. It looks like it could be an interesting thing. Berserker. It launches with Skady 800 covers. So the shop I went to had them all laid out on a table, like next to each other. So this poor guy comes in and he picks up one off each stack thinking they're different stories. And he brings it up to the counter, and God bless the guy working there. He's like, hey, you do know this is all the same story, right? Instead of just selling this poor guy, you know, a dozen copies of the same book for $5 a pop, he actually told him, he's like, this is all the same story. And the guy's like, well, which one is the real one? And he's like, they're all the real one. And I don't know if you remember those variant covers. They were all pinups. They all, that you line them up, knock them down, you couldn't tell them apart. And I saw the, like, you know when you see someone who's like almost interested in something, and then you say something like, if I'm talking about anything with the wife about comics, and like I'll say, oh yeah, and then Crisis happens, she's like, done. Stop talking, I don't care anymore. Because it's too deep. Yeah. So like this guy's like, oh, this is a Keanu Reeves comic. I'm into this. Vroom. He was just done. And it's like, we had the chance. We had the chance to grow the readership. And we screwed it up by confusing him. And who asked for 55 covers of Berserker #1? Nobody.
I'm sorry. You said that like you just were in the drunk tank.
Well, I mean, there are no vowels in it. Berserker.
Yeah.
But it's like there was an opportunity there, and we get so few. Because I was even thinking, like, why don't Marvel and DC make comics that actually do tie into the movies? Do a movie line. You know? Like, MCU presents, here's some crap. And then I'm like, you'd get people to go there, and they'd put 55 covers on them. And they'd be like, what am I supposed to buy? And then they'd be $5 each, and they'd be like, I could see the movie for 2 of these. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they'd find a way to screw it up.
Yeah, you're right.
But that Berserker thing was so eye-opening, because there was a guy who, I mean, you can always tell someone who's in a comic store who's never been there before, or who hasn't been there in many, many years, because they got like a look to them, you know? And seeing someone who looked halfway excited about starting to read comics, being told that, no, that's all the same book, and just being like, huh? Because you know that guy's never coming back. They're done.
Yeah. It's like when
you
I tell my kid,
and you blew it.
I'm like, hey, you know, they relaunch every time there's a new creative team. Why, Dad? What's the point of that, you know?
Yeah.
Or these things with the variants. He doesn't care. It's not, he just wants the guts, you know? So that's great. As I said before, you know, brings a tear to my eye and is wonderful. But I think you just explained it very well. I couldn't even play devil's advocate for it when you say...
No, why confuse people? You know, keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yeah. The MCU line, you want to, if you want to believe people from... who are watching the movies want to get into comics, make comics about the movies. Wonderful. But as you just said, and it was so on point, having 25 different covers ruins it. You can't do that to the uninitiated. You just can't do it. So stop doing it to everybody. Just nip it in the bud, you know?
I mean, we have a hard time keeping it straight, and we've been doing this for 35, 40 years now. Bummer indeed.
Bummer. I don't want to end the show on that note. Let's bring it up. Bring up the energy. Change it. Come on, Chris. I'm relying on you.
Okay. Here's an idea.
Yeah.
My wife is a big collector of Starbucks mugs from different states.
Okay.
You know? So it necessitates us... And, you know, you could cheat, of course. And you could order them online. It's like, oh, I'm not going to Wyoming. I'll order the Wyoming one on eBay.
Okay.
But for her, and it's a sport, you know. It's a hunt. It's a collection. It's something that means something to her. So we went to Omaha, Nebraska, a couple of years ago, and then it's like, hey, you know what? We're only about 10 miles away from Iowa. So we drove into Iowa so we can go to a Starbucks there, buy a coffee, and get the cup with the state on it. And I'm thinking, could comic shops work with Marvel, DC, whatever, and do something like that, where maybe it could be like, you remember the commemorative quarters for each state? Like, could Marvel or DC or both of them do like a state-specific coin that, I mean, you could cheat and get them online, but primarily, or, you know, only available in comic shops. So, like, if you do visit a far-off state, like, when I went to Nebraska, I made sure to go to a comic store. Every time I go to Seattle, I make sure to go to a different comic book store. How cool would it be to get a little memento of I was in a Washington State comic shop. This goes in my little, DC collectible coins book. And you could even do like a digital element of it where like shop owners have a certain version of an app, and then we have another version of an app where like they can actually verify that you were in that state, you were in that store. It's like you have the real hard copy here, but boom, on your app, yes, you were in Spokane on March 3rd, and you went to this shop. Thank you for shopping local. Just a way to get people to visit comic stores again on days that don't start with the word free. And I mean, make them cheap. Make them, a commemorative coin. Make it $5. People spend way more on less for knickknacks when they travel.
Yes, this is also true. I don't know though. Like, I don't know if I'd be. For example, I've lived in Texas now for 7 years, something like that.
Sure.
I've never been to Oklahoma, to the north. It's an easy drive. They have casinos there. I've never been. But if you said to me, Dave, if you go to a comic shop in Oklahoma, right across the border, we're going to give you a coin. I'd be like, I don't know if I want the coin. Maybe I'll.
But if you're traveling anyway.
If I was traveling anyway, sure. But I don't know, because I'm not. Like, your wife's quest wouldn't be something I'd be interested in personally. Like, getting cups. Maybe. I don't know. No. No, I can't do it. I was related to Buc-ee's. Like, we always stop at Buc-ee's, right? And I'm sure some people, because every Buc-ee's will have T-shirts or magnets or whatever that will have the city's name on it.
Sure.
So there are those personalities out there that want to collect those sort of things. It just wouldn't be for me necessarily. But yeah.
But even if I think about it, like even if it was a great idea, the industry would screw it up by doing variants.
Yeah, it's just in the blood.
This is the gold one. This is the silver one.
Yeah.
This is the green one. Yeah.
This is the holofoil collector's edition bagged.
Yeah, and then people get them slabbed. Yeah, you get the coin slabbed.
Oh Lord, here we go. It's like it's not exactly like it, but do you remember a couple things when they would have variants, but they'd have a Justice League of America with the state flags, or the comic shops. Spider-Man that did the comic shop variant.
Yeah, Spider Island. Yeah, 666.
Yep. So that was kind of like a thing. Kind of.
Yeah, where he's holding like a newspaper or whatever, and it's like
your local comic book shop had its own variant, I wasn't very impressed with it.
Me either.
But alas, I guess it's tapping into like a similar vein.
Sure, or like even like the Marvel value stamps. Just do different state ones or something, or just something to get people interested in going to a comic store. Because when they go in, they don't even know what they're looking at.
Right.
I
have an idea for you. And this is, I think, a much more valid way to get people into comic book shops. Now,
tell good stories?
Well, that's out of the question.
That's off the table. Yeah.
That's off the table here. When the state police or an agency is trying to catch a criminal, they send them a letter or make a phone call saying, you just want a yacht.
You want a car.
Show up at this location at this time, and then they arrest them. They're like, do I still get my boat? So what if we send out notices like free Funko Pops, exclusive Fantastic Four movie Funko Pops, and then as soon as they get in, we slam the door, lock them into a comic book shop, and say, you got to read X amount of books to exit the premises or something. I don't know, but you got to, swindle, boondoggle people. To get
you got to read Hush too.
Oh, no, that's cruel and unusual punishment. That's Guantanamo Bay. That's why that is, my friend. No. But, we got to do a little covert action here. So
It's true.
anyway, we have officially hit the 2-hour mark. So I feel in my jigglies that we have given everybody.
Everyone's got their money's worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay to sign off now. Now the back half of the show was loaded with rando convo, but that's fine. That's cool. That's acceptable. That's bada bing.
I'd say so.
Chris, then, do you have anything you'd like to say to the masses, the internet shrouds out there, before we do officially hit the road?
No, just have a happy and safe long weekend if you're in the States here, and be nice to your retail folk.
Very important. Yes, virtual hugs for all of you. Thank you for either tuning in today, which no comments, so I guess it's not happening, but in the future. Yes, tumbleweeds, thank you for joining us. And next week, fat stacks, more convo, comics talk, tell a neighbor, tell a friend, tell your enemies, and we'll see you then. All right, so adios, auf Wiedersehen, see you later.